The conventional narrative has always positioned Donald Trump as Jeffrey Epstein's acquaintance, with Melania portrayed as merely an innocent partner who happened to be photographed nearby. However, recent court documents paint a drastically different picture. They assert that Melania was deeply embedded in the social network that exploited young women. These filings suggest her meeting with Donald Trump wasn't coincidental. It was orchestrated. Most shocking of all is the allegation that her initial romantic encounter with the man who would become president occurred not at a nightclub, but aboard the modified Boeing 727 infamously dubbed the Lolita Express in this video. We're bypassing the $40 million image rehabilitation project. We're going straight to the court documents. We're analyzing the Alex Pretty situation that has Americans gripped with tension, and we are going to reveal the disturbing specifics of the lawsuit suggesting Melania Trump isn't fighting to defend her image. She's fighting to conceal her history. To grasp why this legal confrontation has become so brutal, we need to first recognize the public relations catastrophe currently unfolding. We are in January 2026. The Trump administration is weathering the most severe domestic upheaval of the second term after immigration officers shot ICU nurse Alex Pretty in Minneapolis. America is in turmoil, and amid this chaos, Amazon MGM Studios chose to drop a $40 million vanity project. The film, helmed by Brett Ratner, a director who abandoned Hollywood years back amid allegations of sexual impropriety, was intended as Melania's triumphant moment. Yet the real numbers reveal something else entirely. The Hollywood Reporter indicates tracking for this documentary is disastrous. Box office estimates hover in the low single digits. The reason? The release timing is appalling. Just yesterday evening, Melania threw an exclusive premiere at the White House. The attendees: Mike Tyson, Tim Cook, and Brett Ratner. As National Guard troops were being mobilized to Minneapolis, the First Lady was enjoying popcorn from specially designed black and white containers. Yet the fundamental issue isn't the poor optics, it's the competing narrative. At precisely the same time Melania attempts to present a tale of elegance and American values, Michael Wolff is presenting a tale of involvement and criminal activity. And unlike her movie, Wolff's account is sworn testimony. Let's examine the verified court records. This isn't speculation. These are official filings. In October 2025, attorneys representing Melania Trump dispatched a cease and desist letter to author Michael Wolff. They insisted he withdraw his allegations and warned of a $1 billion defamation lawsuit. Most writers would capitulate. Wolff took the opposite approach. He initiated legal action against her. He submitted a declaratory judgment claim utilizing New York's Anti SLAPP statutes, effectively challenging Melania to disprove his assertions in court. And this week, in January court papers, Wolff's legal team delivered their most damaging blow. They outlined precisely what Melania wishes to keep hidden. The central accusation is straightforward yet explosive. The Epstein link. Everyone knows the accepted version. Melania encountered Donald at the Kit Kat Club during a Fashion Week gathering. She was introduced through Paolo Zampoli, a modeling representative. Wolff's submission argues this narrative is fabricated. Wolff contends that although Zampoli served as the visible intermediary, Jeffrey Epstein was the actual architect. The documents claim Melania belonged to what Wolff describes as Epstein's network of models. Of uncertain age, these weren't ordinary fashion models. They served as social facilitators for Epstein's elite events. Wolff maintains that Epstein was familiar with Melania well before she became Mrs. Trump. He asserts Melania regularly attended gatherings where Epstein would identify prospects for his associates. But here's the statement causing panic at the White House. In his court papers, Wolff references recorded conversations with Jeffrey Epstein from years past. Recordings he alleges are in his possession. On these tapes, Epstein purportedly boasts, "I was the one who introduced them. The first time he slept with her was on my plane." The ramifications are explosive. If Melania Trump's relationship with the president originated on an aircraft synonymous with sex trafficking, if her introduction came through a convicted sex offender who subsequently perished in prison, it completely reframes her entire presence in Trump's world. She transforms from the poised First Lady into something entirely different. A survivor, an operative, or an accomplice. Melania's legal response is combative. Her attorney, Alejandro Brito, characterizes these assertions as false, defamatory, harmful, and deceptive. They emphasize that Melania's name doesn't appear on flight manifests the way victims' names do, but Wolff's filing responds with a disturbing counterpoint. You don't document the merchandise. This circles back to the Einstein visa question. For years, observers have wondered how Melania Noss, a catalog model with limited credentials, obtained an EB-1 visa designated for individuals of exceptional talent, the identical visa awarded to Nobel laureates. Wolff's documents propose examining who sponsored her, who possessed the influence to manipulate such systems during the 90s, who had a reputation for assisting models with immigration complications in return for access. Jeffrey Epstein. The she was their assertion extends beyond the aircraft. It encompasses the social events. We have the photograph from Mar-a-Lago in 2000. Examine it closely. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, Melania Noss, they appear at ease. They appear like an inner circle. Wolff contends that nobody could be deeply embedded in that particular social environment in the year 2000 without witnessing something. The massages, the teenage girls, the recruiters, Wolff's attorneys are seeking to take Melania's deposition. They intend to question her under oath. Did you ever observe a minor at Jeffrey Epstein's residence? Did you ever accept money from Jeffrey Epstein? Did Jeffrey Epstein assist with your visa? This explains Melania's fierce resistance. In defamation litigation, truth serves as complete justification. If Wolff can demonstrate his claims are largely accurate, or even that he possessed reasonable grounds to believe them, he prevails. And establishing proof requires discovery. He gains the right to request emails. He gains the right to request journals. He gains the right to request the authentic account. Melania Trump isn't pursuing damages. She's pursuing suppression of discovery. Yet by filing suit, she has activated it. It represents the ultimate legal miscalculation. You may wonder why mainstream media isn't covering this. That's where 2026E's reality becomes relevant. President Trump has stripped press access from major broadcast networks. He has initiated his peace council with Putin and Orban, establishing an alternative global media structure that excludes unfavorable coverage. The Melania film functions as part of that protective barrier. It's propaganda disguised as art by saturating public attention with a $40 million production. They aim to overshadow the legal filings accessible through the New York Supreme Court docket, but Wolff operates as an unpredictable factor. He has made the recordings public. In documents submitted just yesterday, Wolff included a transcript where Epstein discusses Trump's preferences. Epstein allegedly states, "Donald likes them young, but he likes them loyal." Melania was the perfect pivot. She didn't ask questions. She didn't ask questions. That expression is chilling. It suggests that silence formed the foundation of her marriage, and that silence now carries a billion-dollar valuation. Melania has built her public persona on being unknowable, an empty canvas, but the she was their documents fill that canvas with the most sinister imagery possible. They imply her emotional. Distance isn't a character trait, it's a defense mechanism. If she acknowledges her presence, she acknowledges witnessing crimes. If she witnessed crimes and remains silent, she isn't merely a first lady. She's a witness who kept quiet for a quarter century. We cannot discuss this separately from the Alex Pretty incident. Americans are enraged. The contradictions are overwhelming people. On one screen, the First Lady appears in formal attire in her film. On another, a nurse lies dead in the snow, and underlying everything, court documents accuse the First Lady of being cultivated by a pedophile network. It's a let-them-eat-cake scenario, except instead of pastries, it's movie tickets, and instead of revolution, it's racketeering charges. Even the filmmaker, Brett Ratner, embodies the contradiction. A man facing sexual misconduct accusations directing a film about a woman accused of facilitating sexual misconduct, bankrolled by a corporation, Amazon pursuing government cloud computing agreements. It's the serpent consuming itself, corruption in circular form. The Melania film hits theaters this Friday. Donald Trump claims tickets are selling rapidly. The actual figures indicate empty auditoriums, but the courtroom will have a full house. Melania Trump attempted to outrun her history by recreating it for cinema audiences. But in America, even in 2026, sworn testimony outweighs Hollywood productions. If Michael Wolff's recordings are verified, if the Lolita Express claim is substantiated, then the Melania appearing on screen is an illusion. The actual Melania exists in those court records, the one who was present, and for the first time ever, she may need to respond to the question, "What did you witness?" The Melania film opens January. We'll be analyzing it, not evaluating its artistic merit, but tallying the fabrications against the legal documents. If you want access to the authentic evidence, we've provided links to the unsealed Wolff documents in the description. We're also monitoring the Alex Pretty demonstrations continuously on our secondary channel. Don't allow the movie to distract you from the legal proceedings. What's your take? Is Michael Wolff a fabricator seeking profit? Or is Melania Trump the remaining puzzle piece in the Epstein investigation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for the truth.